Yes. This part of the lesson is about understanding how to use ratios. So we just, in the bell ringer, we, thank you. We've made equivalent ratios by dividing. In this one, we're going to do kind of like we did on the table. We're going to do equivalent ratios by multiplying. So the first question says, a classroom had 35 glue sticks. If the ratio of glue sticks to glue bottles was 5 to 2, how many glue bottles did the classroom have? So the ratio of glue sticks to glue bottles is 5 to 2. And if they had 35, so think about it as those tables we did. How many bottles? So this is 5 times 7, correct? So 2 times 7 is 14. So they had 14 bottles of glue. Miss Sledge? We didn't get to it. I'm gonna put it on for tomorrow. I'm not gonna do the test tomorrow. Okay. All right. So 5 times 7 is 35. 2 times 7 is 14. So my answer is right here. So we had 14 bottles of glue. Any questions about that one? Okay.
So you just get all the numbers and then
Find the equivalent fraction. Same thing here. Let's do this next one. A student finished 8 of her homework problems in class. If the ratio of problems she finished to problems she still had left, so finish to left is 4 to 1. I do fractions because it just makes it a little bit easier to look at. How many homework problems did she have total? So this is the question. So first, we have to find an equivalent ratio. So the ratio is 4 to 1. She finished 8. So 4 times what gives me 8? 2. And then 1 times 2. So we have to multiply this one by 2 also. So the ratio of finish to done, the original one before they simplified it, was 8 to 2. So 8 finish, 2 left to do. So what's the total number of problems she was assigned? 8 finish and 2 left to do. 10, because you have to add 8 plus 2 to give you 10. So she had 10 total, or just 10. Now on number 3, it says, can you see that, Chelsea?
Yes. On Saturday.
Kelsey, I said Chelsea, I'm so sorry. Okay, on the Saturday, a library checked out 52 books. 24 of the books were fiction. What is the ratio of nonfiction to fiction? So we want the ratio of nonfiction to fiction. We have the fiction, 24 were fiction, 52 books total. How do we find out how many nonfiction? How do we find out? What are you gonna do? I see you subtracted. Okay, that is the way you do it. So you did 52 minus 24. What did you get? 28?
Yes.
Okay, so we had 28 nonfiction, and it asked for the ratio of nonfiction to fiction. We can simplify this, y'all. Well, we have to simplify it. So let's do our birthday cake. What goes into 28 and 24? 2. So we got 14. 2 goes in 24 12 times. So we got another even number here. So 2 again. 2 goes into 14 7 times. 2 goes into 12 6 times. What about 7 and 6? Are we one and done? So our ratio is 7 to 6. You always want to simplify your ratios. So we found an equivalent ratio here by multiplying. We found one here by dividing. Okay. So let's look at number 4. A recipe calls for, okay, I did something wrong. I pulled up something. Too many pages. Okay. A recipe calls for the ratio of sugar to flour to be 10 to 3. So if you use 70 ounces of of sugar, how many ounces of flour would you need? Is it confusing written this way? Or would it be better if I wrote it this way? So this is what we're looking for. 10 times 7 gives me 70. 3 times 7 gives me 21. So this is times 7. I wrote it 2 different ways. So for number 4, we would need 21 ounces of flour.
Can I write just 21?
Well, you want to write how to do it. You just write 21 for the answer, yeah, but you want to write how to do it. I see what you're saying. Just the abbreviation for ounces is OZ. Which I don't know why.
Yeah, why is it a Z? There's no Z.
Okay.
No.
At a bake sale, there were 72 raisin cookies sold. So the ratio of raisin cookies sold to oatmeal cookies was 9 to 1. What is the combined amount of raisin and oatmeal cookies sold? So first we have to figure out the equivalent ratio, and then we have to add them together. So 9 to 1, this is ratio of raisin to oatmeal. So I'm put raisin to oatmeal so I won't forget. And then we sold 72 raisin. So we got to know how many oatmeal. So 9 times what is 72?
8.
8, So we're also going to multiply this 1 times 8. So the ratio of raisin cookies to oatmeal cookies is 72 to 8. So they want the combined amount sold. So again, we're going to add these together. 72 plus 8, which is 80. So they sold a total of 80 cookies. Now, number 6. Caleb had 136 songs on his MP3 player. Do y'all know what an MP3 player is? You have an iPod that plays MP3s. Your phone plays them now. But there was a time where all phones did, all you could do was text and call. So they had this little separate little thing called an MP3 player where you loaded all your digital music and you just had that with your headphones. But now we do it through our phones. Isn't that amazing? So I may have one at home to show you all. But yeah, it's so this.
What was the number?
This number 5.
I know.
80 total. So we found the equivalent ratio and then we had to add them together. Okay. So he had 136 songs, let's say on his phone. If he deleted 56 songs, what is the ratio of songs he kept to songs he deleted? So we got the deleted. We got that part. We need to find out the kept. So how do we find out how many songs he kept? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do 136 minus 56.
56, do that.
I did, and it was 80.
80. Okay, now we can simplify that, right? Because both of those are even numbers. So if you subtract 136 minus 56, that gives you 80, which is the ones he kept, right? So kept to deleted. Okay, now let's, what goes into 80 and 56?
2.
2. So we got 40. 56 divided by 2 is what? 28, I believe.
Hold on, let me do it. What do you want to know?
How many times 2 goes into 56? So you do 56 divided by 2.
Yes.
Okay, now we got 40 and 28. What goes into both of those?
2.
4 also. Want to try 4? Well, we can do 2 again. 2 goes into 40 20 times. 2 goes into 28 14 times. So we still got an even number. So let's do 2 again. We still have 2 even. 2 goes into 20 10 times. 2 goes into 14 7 times. So we're 1 and done. This is our ratio. 10 to 7. So that's.
Is that the answer?
Yes, 10 to 7. Once you get it down to 1 and done, because 1 is the only thing that'll go into 10 and 7. Once you get it to 1 and done, you have simplified it enough. Okay. Now, let's go to the next one. So that was number 6. So we're going to move this up. Okay, the ratio of red cars to blue cars in a parking lot was 5 to 3. If there were 40 red cars, how many blue cars were there? So this is 5 times what? Give me 4.
Oh, you ain't got no kids.
Not in this class.
Okay, you got your A block, you got kids?
No, B and, well, I have 3 in A block, but
B is the
my
middle
biggest class is D.
Is D the one that just left?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. I'll get them to you in the morning.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you about 5 boys and get them 5 books apiece, but I'll
Yeah.
get a dollar and break them down. You need them first thing?
My first class is at D block.
So you need it for D.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have it for you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this 5 to 40 is times what? 5 times what gives me 40?
8.
8. So we want to also multiply this by 8. 3 times 8, 24.
So it's 24.
Uh-huh. So there were 24 blue cars. So all we're doing is finding equivalent ratios. You remember equivalent fractions from the 5th grade? This is the same thing, except we're calling them ratios. I could have written this like this. 5 to 3 equals 40 to what? And so this is 5 times 8. This is 3 times 8. Does it look a little bit more familiar now?
Kind of.
Or if we did it like they did it in the tables, remember the tables we had?
Yeah. I remember that.
And so we know that was times 8, so 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, a produce store sold 63 red apples. So the ratio of red to green apples was 7 to 2. I'm going to write it as a fraction, red to green. What is the combined amount? So we want combined amount. So a store sold, this is red to green, they sold 63. So 7 times 9 gives me 63. So I have to multiply this bottom times 9 to get my green apples. And then if we want the total amount, what do we have to do to these two numbers? Add them. So 63.
81.
81? So we sold 81 total apples. Okay, I had to read number 9 like 3 times. Okay, for homework, a student had to complete 15 problems total. If she finished 6 problems in class, so my total is 15, and then she finished 6 in class, what is the ratio of problems she needs to complete to problems she's already finished? Okay? So she finished.
Oh wait, okay. I know. It's since she has need to complete, it's just 9. Because I did 15 minus 6.
Okay, okay.
And then it's 6.
So 9 to all right. Okay, I was still thinking. I wasn't there yet. That's absolutely right. So she had 15 total. She finished 6. So the ratio of problems she needs to complete 9. That's 15 minus 6 is 9 to the problems that she's already finished. And then we have to simplify this.
I think it's in my brain. It's like
that was awesome because I was still thinking about it. So let's go ahead and simplify. 3 goes into both of these. 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 goes into 6 2 times. So my answer is 3 to 2. That was pretty good. I was still thinking.
it's just as it gets in my mind and I read it again. I read it. I was like, because I read the keywords ratio of problems she still needs to complete, and then I've already finished.
So that total threw me off, but yeah, you're right. She finished 6, so you subtracted it from 15. That gave 9 that she still needed to complete. We wrote our ratio and then we simplified. Very good. Okay, ratio at a farm, the ratio of cows to horses was, so cows to horses is 9 to 2. If there were 72 cows, how many horses were there? So this is 9 times 8. This is 2 times 8. So my answer is 16 horses. All right. So are there any questions? Go ahead and stop this video. All right. So go through them and see if you understand what we did.